We are going to do something big again this week. A beautiful swipe with a three-dimensional dove on it that anyone can try. There are so many fun techniques in this one, I just can't wait to show you how it's done. Now today is the last episode away from home, hence my strange table, a very small one. So what are we going to do today? We are going to be using black canvas. I haven't used the black canvas for quite some time. This is an Arteza canvas, 30 by 40. And I fancy a good swipe with my favorite colors, plus something different. These are the colors we'll be using today. I'm not sure about those two, but definitely titanium white, Mars black, Taylor blue, ultramarine, but I'll make my own mix. Cobalt blue perhaps. And I think I might use a little bit of rose. No, this is not a cup of coffee. This is my black paint, which is going to be my dominant paint. I was going to show you the consistency, but perhaps you will see better in a different color. It runs off the stick really nicely. Small build up. I was about to pour the background, but I think I'm going to mix the swipe colors first. I'm going to put some white and then a little bit of my color, a little bit of pink, and maybe a little bit of this turquoise and a little bit of blue here. I want that much. I want predominantly white. Hopefully that's enough. And let's mix it. Okay, definitely don't want it darker. Very light pink, very small amount of those three, and of course white. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a couple of drops of coconut hair serum. I actually got the original container now. It says coconut milk, but it's a hair product with dimethicone. Whoops. And a drop in each. Let me mix it well. Perhaps I'll make some strips. Maybe a bit more black towards the end. It feels awkward, you know, with a spoon. I wonder, it looks like I definitely didn't add silicone here, but the black is behaving as if there was some silicone. I wonder why. Okay, I'm going to spread it like this. Wow. That's the black. Now, this is the blue I wanted. Just some strips of blue. Let's just swipe these now a little bit. Awesome. But still some black. Look at the beautiful cells. Goodness me. I want less than on this side. Doesn't have to be uniform. I just wiped a bit from the middle, but it's not necessary. Some amount of white. And I do have these colors as well. So now I'm deciding how I want these. I think I made more than I needed. I'm going to swipe with regular paper towel. Let's just put these away. I've got my paper towel ready. Paper towel is moist. I'm going to touch the midsection gently. Ready to drag. Wow, beautiful. You see the pastel colors? That's so pretty. That's lovely. I think I messed up just this bit. Let me fix it quickly. I think a little bit of white over the edge will be nice. Very happy with the background. I hope you like it too. Let me show you some of the beautiful lacing. There's going to be something here. No worries about those. I've got a plan. So I'm leaving it to dry. We've got this pretty background all dry now. Time to find the image. I'm looking for a pretty white dove, and I usually look at some photos. I try to get my inspiration, think what position I want my bird to be. Now, you can use your own photo, or you can use a royalty-free one, or you can purchase a photo as well. It's very easy to trace it using tracing paper or baking paper like I often do, or draw it freehand if you prefer. I am going over my image. This is a soft pencil because I want an imprint. I'll show you in a minute how. I am pressing it harder, so I've got thicker lines. My bird doesn't have to be perfect at the moment because I haven't decided yet how I'm going to make it. However, I do want to have some vague outlines. I am going to tape my bird, checking whether the wings are similar distance on both sides. One piece of advice, if you use silicone in your paw, and I did use a few drops, you have to clean your painting, especially if you're going to varnish it or put resin on. I used isopropyl alcohol, but you can also use a sponge with soapy water. That works really well. Bird is ready, so what I personally do, I just press all the lines using my nails, but it may be a bit annoying, so you can go over with a pencil or pen or some kind of a blunt tool, press the lines carefully. It's a really quick job. My students at school absolutely love it. They think it's magical, especially the ones who don't want to draw. And you'll be surprised how well it transfers. Oh! And because the pencil is shiny, I can see on the dark parts as well. I've got some of my 3D paste that I made for one of my previous paintings. I stored it in the cone. I made the cone myself as well. And I've kept it in a jar. It looks like I can still use it. I'll show you what I used it for. That was the painting, the 3D flowers. And now we're going to make the bird, but I do want the bird a bit more 3D, a bit more standing out, so maybe I'll use 3 layers. Let's see. It's so nice being back to my studio and having all my equipment, all the little tools that I have here. I'm going to start with actually a small amount, and I'm going to start with the beak. Wow, wow, wow. That comes out so nicely. Okay, let's just leave that edge untouched. I think I'm going to plan and fill the whole head later on. And yes, I'm going to lose the facial features in a minute because I do want to put much more paste. I'm just wondering whether I should start with the wings and leave the head alone just for a minute. I'm going to do those thinner lines, the lines in between, and I'm going to make my, let's call it a nozzle, much wider in a minute. This is super, super satisfying. One more thing, definitely. The feet. Yes, the feet have to be pretty small. So once I am done with the wing, I'm going to proceed with the feet, especially with those tiny nails. Why am I using the wet brush? Because it helps me straighten the lines if something goes not the way I want. Let's try and make some really small feet. They have to be really thin, don't they? To look realistic. And those tiny nails. I was going to say claws, but I think they are nails. They're rather nails. Birds' feet always look kind of gnarly, so that's fine. Now you will see what I wanted. I wanted quite a lot of paste at the end of the feathers. I think I want them even thicker, you know. Of course, this is my trial version. I haven't done such a thick bird before. I want to leave some gaps between them because we need some partitions to see that they are individual feathers. I keep turning to check which side is more comfortable for me. For a moment, I was tempted to do the head now, but I think it's probably much wiser doing the wings and the tail and then adding the body on top. So I won't bore you now. I'm just going to repeat exactly what I did with these. This is completely dry, so this is going to be super easy. So now it's just filling those sections. Look how nicely that goes. I'm looking forward to your doves now. I wonder who's going to be first, but please don't forget to send me a photo via Instagram. And thank you so much for mentioning me as a source of inspiration. I'll add some more here. My bird is looking more real now. Onto the head, and yes, the head will disappear and the beak will disappear. That's what was a bit... okay. Look at that. I'm even more glad that the edges are dry. Amazing how quickly that dries. I'm trying to make this bird as 3D as possible, considering the fact that I am using this texture paste, not air drying clay. I was even thinking of using polymer clay, but that would have been a completely different story. I'll try it one day, of course. I'm always so happy when what was in my head somewhere is actually coming to life in front of my eyes. See, I'm pretty gentle at the moment. I am not going to attempt an eye at this stage. Now I've got a little dilemma. I did want some light behind my bird, however, I want the bird to stand out the most. So I am going to extend those sections with pink and blue. There's a bit too much white for my liking. I've got processed magenta with titanium white. And let me just cover that section. This is basically inspired by last week's painting of a flower and the swipe. I really like the adding some color onto the swipe once it's dry. I think it looks very nice. If you haven't watched the flower, please do. It's one of my, I think, one of my personal favorites. Also because it's so blue. This one is called Wedgwood. I mixed it a little bit with white. Let's see what we get. Oh, it's a very similar color. I think I probably should have blended those two. And the last one will be a little bit of lilac. I'm liking it. I'm liking the colors. So what I am going to do now, I am going to make some shadows with the same colors. So a bit of purple, bit of pink, bit of blue, just a little bit darker. At this point, I am ready to paint the bird. I'm considering the colors. Obviously, I want the shadows really light. The bird is basically white. However, there will be some shadows. Look at lots of pictures of the bird and enlarge the image and try to see what colors do you see in the shadow. That's what I would do. So I kind of see a tiny bit of beige, some gray. But as usual, because I'm doing it for the first time here, I'll be adapting and probably changing a lot. Well, let me, instead of yellow, try perhaps very small amount of burnt sienna, maybe. You see, this is a total experiment. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Okay, if I don't try it, we will never know. I think it looks better than I thought. Yes, it's quite dark, but no worries. We'll add white on top if that's too much. I will need a napkin to wipe off. There'll be darker sections and lighter sections, of course, on both the tail and the wings. I'll worry with the feet later on. This part needs to be darker as well. This wing is going to be generally darker than this one. I'm adding some shadows between the feathers, but much lighter, as you can see. I added a little bit of pink because I thought the pink was missing. I want to create an impression that there are more feathers and there are layers of feathers. We need some shadow over the beak. What color is the beak going to be? I'm not done with the feathers. I'm just waiting for the first layer to dry and then I'll add more white. Pearl, papaya, orange. I don't really bother about the pearl aspect of it. I wanted a little bit of peach. Well, orange. Ooh, that's nice. I think I've got the color for the beak and for the legs. Toning it down with a little bit of grey may help. The same to the beak. I'm going to add a little bit of more white on top. I'll make the whole eye brown. I can't wait to add black because that will make a huge difference. I really don't want to touch the outside. Oh, tell me that's not cool. I think our bird is getting super cute. Yay. Okay, now I can focus on the feathers. I'm happy with the feet and the beak. More shadows around the bird just to make it stand out. I'm using black and white together so it's not so harsh. Well, there we are. I've really loved these swipe pieces. They are so much fun and they stand out so much. If you enjoyed, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you would like to see more, why not check out my Patreon where I upload extended versions of my weekly tutorials. Last week's was double the length of the one on YouTube. If you really like this piece, the original is actually for sale now on my website. So I hope to see you all at the premiere next Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.